Everybody, welcome back. I really appreciate you guys checking out my video. I know you got other stuff to do with your time. Today, I want to talk about this article I was reading about Facebook and the election interference. And pretty much, I mean, they've been on Mark Zuckerberg's ass, I think, pretty unfairly. I mean, people got to take personal responsibility. I mean, you go on Facebook, you might see some crazy story that this political opponent is an alien from Mars and they sacrifice infant children every night. This is nothing new here. I mean, people would spread rumors, but it was up to a educated citizen to go and find out if it's true or not. And, you know, before the internet, you know, you'd go do your research, go to the internet or something, but I don't get it. It's like information is more freely available now than it's ever been, but yet people are getting tricked more and more. And I don't know if I really think it's Facebook's job to police what you're being shown, right? I mean, it's kind of up to you to realize, is this bullshit or is this somebody trying to get over to me? I get it. I mean, you know, people get caught up in this stuff, real personally invested, but I don't think it's Facebook's problem or Zuckerberg's problem to determine what ads are being placed. I mean, you see an ad, it's up to you to decide if it's bullshit or not. I mean, if at this point, I mean, in your life, if you can't tell if something's bullshit or not, then I mean, come on, man, you gotta take some personal responsibility there. I don't use Facebook. I remember when it came out, I just knew that it didn't seem like a good idea because it just seems like, it just seems so dangerous. Here's the thing that worried me about Facebook when it first came out, and here's one of the main reasons why I never got on it, really. I'm going to lean in on this one. So supposedly all your information is private, right? Everything you put on there is private. Now, we already know from what my wife told me that they changed the privacy policy a lot. Okay, fine with that. So let's say, you know, you're just a kid growing up, you're 15, 16. Let's say basically from middle school through college, you, over the course of 10 years, let's say over the course from 12 through 22, you pretty much document all of your life on Facebook. That's very dangerous, right? One reason from a security perspective. So basically, even though you may think that information is private, it never is really. Now, somebody told me, well, if you delete your account, whatever, they don't have it. Well, that's not really how things work all the time, right? If you delete your account, you don't have access to it, but they always have it. I mean, they're not going to tell you that. They're just saying that, yeah, no one else can get it. It's gone. Yeah, it's archived. Think of it that way. Also, another thing to think about is, let's say, for example, all your private information and all this other type of stuff. Let's say, for example, that Facebook is sold to me. I buy Facebook. Well, now I own Facebook, right? So your privacy agreement that you had with them is no longer valid, right? What are you going to do? You're going to sue Facebook? Facebook doesn't exist anymore. Now it's Stratford Ave Corp. And I own it. And I can do whatever I want. So let's say I'm doing that and maybe I happen to go to the troves and, you know, I don't know. Maybe there's a person who's running for president or for Congress. Maybe I just happen to find in their deleted profile pictures of them getting wasted. You know, just embarrassing stuff, throwing up, all kind of crazy stuff, right? There's no recourse for that. So just the way that my brain thinks, I immediately thought ahead about that. Like, I don't know if I really want that. Because also another reason, the people that I want to know and I want to reach out to, like, I'm going to call them. Like, I don't like the idea of somebody like cyber stalking me or something, or looking at what it is I'm up to. And again, I already said, I understand you can control a lot of that with privacy settings, but I don't do it. I don't think it's a good idea. Twitter I always liked better because Twitter is not as person centric, I think, as Facebook is. And Twitter, I do have a Twitter account. It's not under my name. It's under a pseudonym. Yeah, and pretty much, you know, I just post on there positive quotes, stuff like that, right? Because, you know, the fact that somebody can trace that back to me is remote. And there's not going to be any video or anything crazy like that. So anyway, that's it. Number 2, the thing about Facebook and that you should think about is, I was reading something where basically Facebook is now the primary tool of law enforcement for their investigations. And that's really amazing, right? It used to be before they actually had to work. They had to go knock on doors, talk to neighbors and stuff like that, you know, to get their leads, to get their clues, you know, to figure out how to work this case. Well, now, I mean, you know, that was expensive, right? They had to get in the car, go to places, people slamming doors in their face. They don't want to talk to them. They're out in the weather and everything else. I mean, now it's a whole lot easier, right? You see it all the time. These mass shootings happen within like a couple hours. They already know so much about the people and you wonder how. Well, that's how. I mean, you know, I don't think people are like computer nerds in general. They don't know all about all the settings and stuff. They're just using it. But, you know, pretty much, if I get your Facebook, I know probably what you look like, what your kids look like, where you go to eat, where you go to vacation, what kind of car you drive. I know what the car looks like probably on the inside because you've probably posted something from that. I probably know what your house looks like inside and out. I know when you're going to be out of town, probably. I know all that about you, but then I also know about your known associates, right? That's one of the things that police look for, known associates, right? So let's say, I go through your friends list or whatever, your followers. So now I know who you associate with. I mean, I got all this information I can just type without even doing any research. And then I'm not saying that to make you paranoid. It's just something to think about. And I'm thinking like, okay, so if I'm making all this available, what am I getting out of it? Somebody might tag me in a photo or something. I mean, I get it. People have this need to be heard and recognized. And you get that thrill of there always being some type of pop-up or some type of acknowledgement. But I mean, you gotta ask yourself, is it really worth it? No, it really isn't. I actually like the idea, you know, what I was taught by one of the OGs is, you know, you need to maintain some kind of sense of mystery anyway. Like, I don't know why you want to put everything you're doing out there. And then also everything doesn't need to be shared also. Some things should just be between you and one other person. But anyway, that's a whole nother topic. Third thing to think about with Facebook is the privacy settings. Like I said, don't think that just because you have your privacy settings turned on that nobody can see that. There's people whose job, it's extremely easy to go out on the internet and within 5 minutes pay $5 for a program that will guess somebody's password. And if not, I mean, it's not that hard to really hack into somebody's account. So don't think that all your stuff out there is pretty secure. That's why, I mean, even in over there and overseas with this war, right? Those Taliban and shit, old school. They pretty much are just, you know, passaging messages like face to face, like I'm whispering in each other's ear. You can't track that. You can't track that. Even if somebody's wired, right? You know, if I'm doing whispers or I'm writing stuff down or something like that or whatever, I mean, low tech, man. You guys got to take back your privacy, which is definitely what it is I do. So to wrap this whole thing up, the election interference in Facebook and everything else, I just feel like maybe to a degree it's on them because they shouldn't be like sharing people's information like they did with that Cambridge Analytica thing. But as far as just policing the ads and stuff like that, I mean, I kind of think people need to take their own responsibility on making sure that what they're listening or what they're forwarding or whatever is not garbage. That's just what I think. Let me know what you think. Thanks for watching.